Me again, Melinda Katona, the Managing Director of Borealis Catalyst Group. Just a quick intro about who we are and what we are doing. We are a management consultant company and an organizational development company who is present in Hungary and in the Netherlands, but we are working Europe-wise and not only in these two countries. In our focus is creating future proofness. We are very much focusing on future-proof organizations and ways of working, and therefore we are leading quite big transformation programs among different size companies, from big multinational companies to even middle-sized company. We are a consultant company who are really focusing in actions. We try to help and support companies to break down the strategic initiatives into actions. For instance, also the ESG as a strategic initiative, how to break down in clear actions, how to make a transformation roadmap, how make the business transformation sustainable, and making sure that the new transformation guidelines and goals are embedded in the everyday high-performing culture and operation. This is who we are in ESG. We are not an environmental experts. We are much more focusing on how to make sustainability sustainable in organizations and making sure that ESG is treated and planned on a strategic level and executed on a high operational excellence. Thank you very much. And a couple of ideas about why at all ESG is important. The human mankind, it always, let's say, very much competitive, and the surviving mode is very important in their own lives. But sometimes how to achieve the profits are much bigger, having much bigger influence and much more focus in our lives. And we are rather less focused on sustainable things. What are the important things in life? ESG, it's a framework which I don't like the word force, but still forces the company and the organizations that next to the profitability, which is of course very, very important to have sustainable, profitable companies, because otherwise they cannot grow and they cannot fulfill their own purposes. But still is also very important to create and focus, and the guidelines for them to focus also in the environment and the social impacts of it. Because that's what we learned, that there are no regulation, there are no frameworks, there are no expectation, there are no measurements around that, that these kind of things are not necessarily are going to happen on the right size and the right format. And what we say normally as management consultants, that measurement drives behavior. If we are having the right measurements, then we can influence the right behaviors among the organizations. And somehow the ESG is going to enable that the people, the organization start to think about much more consciously and not only postponing that, okay, I will deal about sustainability, I will deal about social rights when I have time. But normally the time is not coming. Therefore, it's very important to consider the ESG as a journey. It's not only about the law. It's the company, if really want to make sustainable change, then it should be handled, the ESG, as a journey, which is starting from the first point to understand why it is important ESG on my own organization, what are the key drivers which are having big influence to my company or my own organization, and it is going to work only if it is incorporated the ESG on strategic level among the strategic initiatives and strategic goals of the company. It is just only if it is just only to legal conformity, then normally the real transformation, the real sustainability is not going to happen on the level it should be done. Therefore, if it is a strategic initiative, then of course we should have the handle as a strategic program, like a project management tool, and and to define in the company who are the key drivers, who are the key organizations, who is going to lead this whole ESG transformation program, and to define the right definition of dance, which has to be achieved on 25 or 26 or 27, to be in line, of course, with the regulation and with the regulatory part, but still has to be tackled as a program and a project. If the companies that are not dealing with that, then they will have less impact of it, and it will be not embedded in the business as usual operation, and definitely will be not embedded in the culture. And the clear role somehow of ESG is also to change the mindset of the people, to change the culture within the organization, enable organization to define new operating mechanisms, new ways of working, how to achieve their own profitability. In the meantime, also focusing on the environmental and social drivers too. It is not an or, it is an and. And I should focus in this one, and I should focus on that one. And of course, this is also a good project management. It's very important to assess the risk and opportunities and the financial impacts on your organization. How is going to impact my own company? What should be the short-term, mid-term, long-term impacts and the risk which I have to avoid, and the opportunities which I use. Opportunities such as that the younger generation, it is on a top 3 drivers when they choose a new company. They look how sustainable policies it's having within the company. It can be an employer branding driver to attract the talents, the good people within your organization if you are really running an ESG journey. And the people, they can be part of this journey. They can jump onto the bus and lead together and going together and change the mindset of the people and changing the right into the right behavior within the organization. And also it's very important how I'm leading the governance part. Who is going to be part in my organization? It is staying only on finance, the whole ESG, and also only on a couple of environmental guys. Of course, can we do that like that? But if it stays only on finance and environmental people, that is not going to, again, have a full impact within the organization. Therefore, a good company who wants to have the sustainability has to define the boards of directors, the stakeholders, and the PMO office to run these kind of steps. And of course, you have to deliver the right results by running, again, like a good PMO, defining the project, defining the milestones, making sure that you see the progress, you communicate in your company and organization about the successes, about the achievements in ESG, and therefore building the trust of people that it is not only a paper exercise, but it is really something happening within the organization. I can talk about 2 more minutes about how we are committed and how we can support this kind of journey within the companies. And I would like to call your attention, I write it down, spirit and the letter. What we say that if you want the culture to be changed, the letter, the documentation, the legal administration, of course, is very important to be written down, something to be compliant with. But if you want a real change in culture and ways of being of people and operating, you need to build up the spirit, the cultural part. Peter Drucker once said that culture eats strategy for breakfast. If you only have a couple of regulations in place and you have only KPIs in place, but the culture is not aligned to the goals and to the KPIs, it will be a short-term result. And we are not going to achieve the sustainability role that we are building a sustainable community, a sustainable organizations. By our experience, how we can support that, we are running a lot of diversity programs as Borealis. We are running a lot of cultural transformation programs and also helping to providing support to the companies to define the cultural drivers and make it on a project-wise, and by educating, training the leaders, enabling cross-functional collaborations, and enabling diversity, diversity in thoughts, in mindset and generation to be an everyday exercise of the company to really come through and make ESG something sustainable and happening. We support on this transformation journey also by trying to support them to how to set up the right governance, the right KPIs management next to the cultural part of it. If you can go to the next slide, it's very important to make very, very tangible and to communicate and educate the companies. What are the real benefits within the organization? If we want to have real change, we have to educate, we have to communicate, and we have to measure. These are the three main elements of change. And for that one, we have to make aware that why it is important and what kind of benefits brings for the companies, for the employees, for the company as such, like from brand reputation, financial performance, innovation and growth, to the teams and leaders by having more improved collaboration, accepting and building of diversity drivers, and of course to the customer and the environment. Because if they see the customers they are really dealing with, and we are having results on this one, the loyalty, the trust level is going to increase. And therefore, by having sustainable products and services with reduced environmental impact, we are going to have a much more profitable and sustainable ways of working. Thank you very much. And then just one click of Borealis on one click away. If you would like to get in touch with us, you can find us in a different platforms. Thank you very much for your attention.